welcome back to Vibe Check. My turn on the couch. Very excited. First and foremost, thank you everyone for your questions. There were a ton of great ones for cast members that are currently not here. So we will shelve those until next time, and then it probably does include the guy who asked about Hugh's rapier. You know who you are. And we'll get to those when those guys are here, but we have some really good ones today. First and foremost, hello, Vibe Check. How are you guys?
Hey, good.
Doing good.
Oh, good.
I haven't been on this couch in a long time.
Yeah, been many moons.
Yes.
More than anything, I'd like to know, are you having fun with the game and skill check in general?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Off-camera DM is giving a thumbs down.
The DMs hate it, but we love it.
He's coaching us?
Okay, well, pretty hard to beat that, but let's start with a plug, easy one. Guys, at Pokemon Trader has asked us over on our Twitter, any plans on a podcast form for skill check?
Oh my God, what low-hanging fruit this is. We are on all the major podcasting platforms now. We did it. It took us 3 months, but we got there.
Yep. We are available in audio form.
Yep. I think skill check on everything. It should be. I don't think it's a weird name.
And as a real treat, in the latest episode, which I believe is coming up before this, there were 5 uninterrupted minutes of sign language for you podcast listeners.
Oh, yeah, that was really
So that's
good.
really great.
Another hidden benefit is actually Charlie gets naked for a minute on every podcast episode, so you can hear him being naked. Can't see it, but
The vibrations change in the room.
Oh,
it's weird. You might be able to pick it up.
Some kind of energy vortex.
Yeah,
is
you'll feel it. It's more of a feel thing.
Yeah, and let us know when you think that is, because honestly, I think you can generally tell. Things really get a lot better.
Yeah.
Let's get into the action. Guys, Dino Rodeo, how are we feeling?
I love it.
I think it's sick.
Yeah. It's been like Spaceport is sick, and obviously we saw it before the game. So it was like going back somewhere we've been, but the first time we dropped into Dino Rodeo, I think I actually visibly, like, my jaw dropped. I was just like, oh, like, I was so excited.
The second I heard the announcer with the whoo, I was like, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun.
It definitely has seemed a lot more open than Spaceport, which was more of a training wheels, right? We're going to go get a staff member, and we had some good times. But one particular thing that I have seen you guys learning how to do is coming up with a plan and then executing the plan. How do you guys feel about kind of learning how to D&D in a more open setting in that way?
I feel like we've definitely learned to come up with plans. Executing is where it gets a little wacky.
Plans are hard.
Yeah. I think Aaron said it after the last game where there's like 3 plans. Everybody thinks their plan's the best, and then we do none of them. We're just like, but there's a monkey, so I'm gonna go that way.
We'll get to a new location and we'll see something like kind of alarming, and we're like, maybe we should be asking about that, and we're just like, no, this other thing. This is our new fixation for the next hour.
That's been our group in a nutshell too, of like with trusting people. And I've said it before, where like Shark just trusts because he thinks he can kill anybody that
He probably can't.
goes against it. Exactly. But we just go up to everybody and we're like, I love this guy. Like he's great. And then we're like, what? He wasn't great. Like, it's just so bad.
It does seem like the 2 modes you guys have are murder on sight or friends for life, and like there's 0 in between.
Or just kidnapping.
Or just kidnapping, right? Friends for life. Forced friends for life, really, is where I'm going with that. I am introducing a new virtual currency called the Vibe Coin in a speed lightning round quiz. In particular, NPC with the initials MW was referred to incorrectly more than 5 times, which was hilarious. Do you guys remember the name of the NPC who was also called Merriam-Webster?
Madam Wesley.
1 Vibe Coin!
Madam Wesley.
Which I think will inflate to 10 or 12,000 by the time we get another Vibe check. So
That makes sense.
we'll tune back in on that one. But good job.
Yeah, thanks.
I think did you guys like communicate about that like off camera or anything? I could not believe the amount of riffing you were doing with that.
No, it was just, I feel like that was, Charlie and I have 1-track minds, and we share the same track. And so one of us did it first, and then we were just like, yep, that's the rest of the episode for us.
Charlie's really good at that like feigned ignorance style of comedy sometimes.
Yes.
It's perfect. So mispronouncing stuff like that.
Yeah, it reminded me of like Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah, that's his real name.
Yeah.
Where devolves into like Wimbledon tennis match and that kind of thing.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes, exactly. Burlington Coat Factory.
It's hard to tell how much of that is Charlie and how much of that is Hugh just gaslighting everyone he meets nonstop. How do you guys feel that one of your party members, not even for any gain, often will just like tell the most outlandish lies to even your friends?
Go ahead.
I think it's cool. I think it's an interesting, like, because I feel like I'm so mentally in it. I'm like, I have to obey the rules, and I have to be in the RP, and I have to ask a question that would make sense for my character, and then Charlie is just fucking with the rules of the world, like asking questions that no one would ask. Be like, actually, I'm gonna kill you right now.
There's
and
so
just seeing
many.
how those NPCs react to that,
Yes.
and it's so
It's my favorite is seeing how you two react to that, because like Madam Wesley when he knocked on her door in the last episode. And she's like, how may I help you? And instead of just like, no matter how aggressive he is, he chooses the weirdest thing. He's like, I'm coming in. And I'm like, yeah, let's just piss her off. Let's piss off who I'm assuming is the big bad right now. It's so fun. There are so many times where he'll do that and you just see me like, what is going on?
Charlie is such a like polite person.
Yes.
That I think that is his outlet. To
Yes,
just
absolutely.
Just be an
Just
asshole.
let the rudeness out in one forum.
It is one of the reasons why people like to play Dungeons and Dragons, because you don't always have to wear yourself, and that's part of the fun.
Yep.
But speaking of characters and stepping in and out of them, Charlie had mentioned that he has a backup character ready to go, but that he'll never play it unless we kill Hugh, which is a really interesting gun to give us. Because I'm so curious what he has come up with that was his second choice, right. After that. But also, it means Hugh has to die, which I tried, to be fair.
You got very close.
I did. But I have the same question for you guys, which is, do you have backup characters? And this actually comes from @Aphrodite84, so thank you. And would they come in on death, or would you ever consider like rotating them in for maybe those one-shot games, something like that?
Yeah, you go first.
I have one. I have one in the
Any teasers?
in the back of my head. I could just give I don't know if the class would be too much of a.
What about his first name?
Okay,
spoil
I can
it.
say the
You don't
name.
have
The
to
name. The name's not going to give it away. His name's going to be Charon.
Charon.
But
I
that
thought you were
What does
gonna
the
be
class
like 8.
rhyme with?
Lard.
Could be anything.
Could be-
Wizard.
could
be
be
a
anything,
wizard.
really.
Yeah.
Oh,
a wizard.
true.
It makes
Yep.
sense.
Yep.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. Charon the Wizard. So that'd be cool. Oh God, 2 in one group. Okay, yeah, that's what we need. More charisma-based characters.
Yeah, we don't have enough. And then I have one, whole backstory and everything. He was actually made at the same time as Shark. His name is Dolph. Just Dolph.
Anything else?
His class does not rhyme with lard.
Got it. Okay. Well, that's a lot to stew on in the D&D verse. We'll let you theorists come up with some real hard hitters on that one. But I want to go back and talk about the world that Drew has made, because guys, Donatello. What do we think of Donatello?
People loved Donatello in the comments, by the way.
I think it's hilarious.
It
I
was
love
so good. I love seeing, like, you both obviously have a huge depth of like NPCs.
Thank you.
But you have your like main staples, and I love how different your 2 main staples are. Like even what's her name, Izzy from the canteen, which was the mermaid from the one shot kind of thing. Like they're so different between the 2 of you. It's amazing.
That character was basically a dried out mermaid who was employed at a hotel spa,
Yes.
who was having a bad day. So I could see the similarities in the mannerisms.
Yeah. I think that. Sorry, I just had a complete brain fart.
No, let me give you an additional
Cut this-
prompt then too, because I wanted to also ask the security room scene and your opinion of that related to Donatello.
Oh boy, I thought that was
boy.
that was a
Pin it.
fantastic way to start.
Yeah, that was a
that
doozy.
that was quite a start to the. To
I don't
the
think
arc.
I've actually ever thrown my hands up so hard where I'm like, we're being idiots. Like Shark is one of the 2 big idiots. I feel like he does do, and then he did that, and I was just like, why? Like I couldn't hold it back. Where I was like, why would you do that? What did you gain?
It's like perfect chaos though.
Yes,
like it keeps
is.
it keeps it fast. It keeps everyone engaged and thinking of like what to do next. It's good RP, but it's chaotic RP, and that's
Yeah,
it works.
And
it works.
It really keeps everything moving in the weirdest way imaginable. It's going 100%. Heard it here first. We will all die because of him. There's no doubt in my mind he will kill the whole party. You'll be like, "There's a dragon." He's like, "I slap its ass," and we're like, "Well, we're dead."
Well, one character does date a dragon and married
That's
a dragon, so I guess that's so not that far out of the realm of possibility, actually, now that you say that. Very true and very fair. And the controlled, organized chaos, sharpened chaos, or weaponized chaos, however you want to refer to it, that's so on brand for the 7 of you. And I'm so happy that you're like leaning into that and also realizing like where your characters are like okay with and not okay with. Donatello disguise, sexy Donatello, and Donatello tied up on the floor. The amount of variables you guys just every sentence add to those equations, it just gets so out of hand, and I love it, and I'm here for it too. Yep. So I encourage you to keep going, especially when Drew's in the chair. Thank you.
It is funny because after watching Vox Machina, I picture there's some scenes that when we're like as we're doing them, I literally just picture them in my head like a show.
Yeah.
And that was one where it's just like pure chaos of like shark this behemoth under a desk. You've got 3 Donatellos, one floating above the ground, one tiny and sexy, and like it. I think you were the coat rack.
Yeah, he was a coat rack.
And it's just like that's our group personified essentially.
Fantastic. And I'm sure there will be more opportunities as you guys have not quite yet explored all of Dino Rodeo. There's more secrets to come, which are not mine to reveal. But I do have a show question for you guys. At Estella, Estella69 on Twitter asked, by the way, nice. Do we care that skill check isn't super popular at the moment, and how do we feel about it? I know you guys have your own thoughts, so either one?
Give your thoughts.
Everything's niche to everybody. If it's fun to us, then that's what matters. I think that what we kind of learned from the first few streams was that not the largest majority of Charlie's audience are big D&D people, and I think that it's good to kind of shorten that scope first and just enjoy what we're doing, grow it, make it stronger, make it better, and then it'll just, hopefully take off from there.
Agreed. And I think everything we do, there's either something Charlie's audience will love or something that we want to pull a new audience into. And this is something, like you said, to pull a new audience into.
Exactly.
And then at the end of the day, if it drops to 0 views on every video, once a week we're getting together and playing D&D with our friends. So it's really fun, and that's okay.
That reminds me, actually, a bunch of people asked if we would be their Valentine last week on Wednesday, which, guys, Valentine's Day was on Wednesday. Skill check's going to be for you that night. Like, we're going to be there, right? So exactly like you're saying, Wednesdays we're playing D&D, and for those of you who have been around in the comments and kept asking questions, thank you, because it is something we really have found joy in. But particularly your game and watching you guys say, adding a little commentary, watching how quickly you guys have learned Dungeons and Dragons over the past 11, 10, 12 episodes is staggering. And I think it's really great medium on like how to learn by starting to have fun and then like moving into the game. So I think that's really cool. And exactly as I said, niche. There are a lot of other D&D shows that are definitely further down the timeline than we are. But I think that's part of what we've got. Yep. So that's my opinion. Back to cool character stuff. Matt, tell us about Yeehaw Shark. Has he wrestled in hell? Does he have experience wrangling? Cowboy hat, where did it come from? Why do you have one?
It makes sense. He definitely wrestles in hell. He's kind of a lone wolf down there, but big Texas vibes. I like to imagine he's a lawyer down there, but outside of the court, I like to imagine he's got his little ranch. Maybe dirt bikes around, has some cattle.
I have to check that vibe real quick. Did you just say Texas was hell?
No, definitely not.
Okay. But he does have a Texas-style ranch in hell.
Yeah, I mean, hell's a large, expansive place.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's cheap real estate.
And as Shark has said, he doesn't even really know what money is, so
he
just kind of has land by birthright, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We are building a whole character.
Yeah, you're very quickly seeing how thin my lore was.
Yep. I don't know what you're talking about. We're going back and we're going to your ranch.
Here, if you want me to peel back the curtain of actually what I'm really describing now, I'm realizing is what's her name from Futurama from Mars who has a space kettle.
Oh, Amy.
Amy, yeah.
Are you Amy?
It seems like it. But no, I have a nice cowboy hat that I
Sure.
bought in Texas, and I got tired of wearing the ripped sleeve jacket, so I pulled out my nice suit jacket, and I was like, there's my cowboy hat. That, spoiler alert, you don't get to wear a cowboy hat often.
No, you don't.
So I was like, we're
Damn
fucking
shame.
yeah, it really is. And so I was like, this is now my character.
That's beautiful. I'm glad.
By the end of the arc, you're gonna come out in spurs and assless chaps.
Yeah, like the bandana around his neck, but like a bandolier of bullets.
This
Comes
has
out like
changed
Woody.
Matt. Yeah.
flicking his hat.
That
at
makes you
people.
Buzz Lightyear, which was canonized at
Yeah.
the end of
Oh, that's
Spaceport.
right.
True.
That's right.
I think
Can't
this
wait.
is going to change Matt more than it changes Shark.
Hey, which came first, the art or the artist?
Yeah, so true. It has
Um,
to be the artist conceptually, but
Chase, I got one for you. At the end of Spaceport, due to some magical technology and a surprising yes from you, you became Super 7 for an episode, which was fantastic. Everyone loved it. Do you have any thoughts on a persona for this arc, or would you prefer to leave it up to your friends to maybe find you like a Super Nintendo cartridge and kind of give you something on the fly to work with?
I talked to Matt about this, I think, after the Super 7, or maybe it was a little bit, it might have been after, but I like the idea of kind of leaving it up to my friends, because I think that kind of keeps me on my toes and keeps me, I have to pay attention, and if they want me to do a certain voice, I have to do it, and if I look stupid, I look stupid, but I think that it'll probably result in more funny moments than anything else.
Then, secondary question, do you have ideas?
oh, absolutely. I think this is what we talked about, like the cartridges, because I think going in, I was like, there's technically stores to buy voice modules.
Yep.
If we don't make him speak Spanish by the end of this, I will be so sad. But we were talking about this right before this episode that we're recording right now.
Cool.
Chase is absurdly talented in voices, so like just as many as we can throw at him will make me so happy.
I'm looking forward to it. I think that what I learned throughout the beginning of Spaceport and then the end and a little bit of the beginning of Dino Rodeo is that I feel like socially my character is a little bit, just because it's a robot,
Sure.
so it's a
You
little
lived
bit.
alone in a war-destroyed planet for X number of years.
Yeah, there's
literally talking to nobody. I get it.
There'll be moments where a joke will pop into my head that I can make or something, and it's a banger and it's so good, but I'm like, 7 wouldn't say that. It wouldn't make sense for him to say that. So I just have to keep it up here, and maybe with the modules I'll be able to.
Can let it out a
I
little
can-
bit.
That does bring up a good point. Would you keep all the cartridges to just like reslot in future adventures if you need a different filter to give a good joke?
I think maybe we'll set some rules around it. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll keep like 3 on me at a time or
Okay,
something like
I'll
that.
keep like a little keychain for you where we
Yeah.
can pop them up. It reminds me of like Bumblebee and the Transformers speaking through
Yeah.
different radio
Yeah,
stations.
yeah. You've got like the little Game Boy
Yes.
little container. You open it up and they're on all the
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every once in a while, you start stuttering. We have to pull it out, blow on it, and put it back
Yep.
in.
Just a quick reset.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. You guys are both getting so good at the RP. I love it. And I can't wait to see where that goes. And I can't wait to hear about your ideas. I have a similar kind of like role-playing question, but about NPCs. So at Honda Harris asked specifically about the way the DMs build unique characters that fit into these like crazy stories and come up with some interesting ones that are adapted well in. And while the question was originally like how the DMs do it, I think it's actually more important to hear from you guys on the aspects that make a character interesting and engaging and what makes them feel real and like how you would want to play and interact with them. Because if you guys are liking these characters, it means we've succeeded. It doesn't really matter how we build them after that. So curious to see maybe from some examples in either arc so far or anything along those lines.
I like when the NPCs are. Obviously, there's like the NPCs that we meet that it's like this character kind of just exists to RP with us for a little bit and then direct us towards something.
How dare you?
And then there.
Stop railroading us.
And then there's,
My secrets! Turn it off!
and then there's obviously characters that like have
Railroading.
plot, like mainstay in the plot. They are integral to the plot, and they usually have like ulterior motives, and I always find that super interesting. When is this episode going to go up? After
After the
last week?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the Dawn. I really like the Dawn
You
because
mean the dawn of the Planet of the Apes?
Dawn Bon of the Dawn of the Bon Planet of the Apes. I like that character because it was intimidating, which I thought was cool. It's really cool as an RPer, like you're the player, but you're talking to this character that in that world is like a figure of authority, and so you have to in character kind of be respectful of that, even though you don't have to. Yeah, and we weren't.
That's true. But also I think like you guys had mentioned that you kind of had trusted people or just assumed you could kill them. You guys were kind of like rushing along and having fun and like going whatever. And I could tell there was a little difference once you got in and like the doors closed. And it was just the dawn where everyone was like, wait a minute. Like, did we just walk into the lion's mouth? A little bit. And obviously, right, things devolved from there. Or evolved, I suppose.
I was going to say the Dawn too for the same reason. Also, it was the first time I think where we were like, oh, like there's scary stuff has happened, but that was the first time where it was like, oh fuck, like this guy's not really playing around, and then we made him play around a bit.
Shout out James.
Yeah, exactly.
James the ape.
But it's got to be tough for you guys too, because like a lot of us, but especially Charlie, he sees someone and he's like, how can I fuck this up? Not like how
so
can
he's
I
a monkey
kill
wrench.
it?
Yeah.
Yes.
How can I throw everyone off their
Right.
off their game, like in a good way, like keep everyone on their toes kind of thing.
Exactly. And that it was actually really nice. We got ourselves out of it, but with the Dawn, where it's like, all right, there are consequences to us just being rampaging assholes through this place.
You had even said, is our attitude catching up to us or something like that?
Way.
And then like 8 seconds later, it was like, oh, yes.
Yep. And I thought that was super fun. I thought that was great. And then just the ones, there's a 80% chance that you put somebody in front of us, we're taking them with us. So it's like you guys have to stay on your toes, where it's like, here's a monkey, and we're like, that's our monkey now. And you're like, okay, his name's Yoo-Hoo, and he wears Jordans.
And he got shoes, yeah.
You can't make the characters too likable.
Yes.
Or we'll just steal them.
Exactly. We even steal the ones I hate.
That is very fair. So what I'm hearing is some amount of intelligence and or ulterior motives. Although I think what I heard you guys highlight was when that happens, when there is an intelligent character, for that to be not necessarily unique, but the right time for it. I think you guys have hit on a little bit. It was a purposeful choice that in Spaceport, almost all the enemies you fought were either animals or robots or whatever. They didn't really have anything for you to match wits with. And the humans that you did, I think actually the smartest one you probably just talked your way out of, the road bandits. And so in that way, right, there's a totally different experience. And now that you've met someone like the Don Bon, it's a different experience when you are like, oh shit, we have to mind our P's and Q's here because he wants to throw us out a damn tree window. So intelligence, ulterior motives, as well as understanding like not every character should be likable, and then beyond that, you just put them in their lives and watch what the characters do. I think particularly in this arc, you guys have seen a lot of like we want to push on the dominoes and see if they fall. A good example comes to mind of Jill when you guys were like at the bet taking window. Aaron said something that was like, I'm not a monkey, or like, I'm a monkey. And he was like, no, she gets to roll to see through your disguise because you're saying the dumbest shit at the betting window.
Yes.
Right. And so I don't believe he had planned that moment, but because you guys were pushing on the walls, right, eventually a hole fell through.
You can definitely feel you guys are starting to take the training wheels off, where it's like, okay, you're being it. Like, are you sure you want to be that stupid? Like when I was yelling from behind the shack and you were like, do you want to walk to them? And I was like, no. And I happened to roll a 25 on stealth and be okay. But you're like, you're an idiot.
I think I first felt that with the immovable rod in Caleb's close brush with death.
I was going to ask about this like second to last, but let's just fast forward. How do you guys feel about Fora and his immovable rod?
I think it started as my headcanon, and I think I've started to telepathically message it to him. I think he's starting to just turn into a senile character. I think he's purposefully acting like senile, and it's so good.
When he started, I think he thought he was like 45 or 50, and now I think he's like 92.
Perfect.
His character in the anime is just so distinguished and poised and almost like battlefield regal, right? He's commands a presence, and Fora's like, I got IBS. Hold on, I gotta go take another poop. And he's like, he's doing Mission Impossible, but fucking the old folks' home version. version.
Yes, exactly. It's so funny. You're absolutely right. Where like he's just now senile, and he chose it himself.
Going through the turnstiles takes a toll on the brain.
I also think he's played D&D so
Yeah.
much compared to us that it's funny where like he'll be acting like a senile idiot for a second, and some of us will like laugh at him, and he'll snap out and be like, "What? Like I'm putting rope in his pocket," and we're like, "Oh, that's Caleb, not Frey." It's so funny.
It was pretty good.
I think it's funny how he is the most experienced D&D'er at the table, and we give him a lot of shit. It's funny.
He's experienced playing his own game. He's not experienced playing your game.
Yes.
Which I love because those snap moments where Caleb has to be like, and then he slams his hand on the table, they're just wonderful.
It is fun, especially sitting next to him.
Hey, any chance we can give an opportunity for Stewie to throw a haymaker across the table is worth it for me.
That is why they are as far from each other as possible. That is by design.
Beautiful. Guys, party name. Someone suggested on our last vibe check video, at David Bay 1011, thank you. He said Sharks Boys. I think that's pretty good.
Hey, that's a good one. I like that.
I'm down with Sharks Boys. I think that's pretty good.
I think
Sharks
we're running
Men.
with Blue Man Group right now, right?
Yeah, Blue Man
Blue Man Groups.
I thought, honestly, Power of Attorney was pretty solid.
I thought Power of
too.
Attorney was pretty good too.
It's good. We've got some good ones flowing now.
I'll remind you guys of one. The last time I saw it was at Malia the Beast 101, but several people have said it Super 7. I thought that was pretty cute as well. So I think you're right. We've got some choices floating around, lest we return to the other one that it was for a while, which I know you very much dislike.
I can't remember that one.
Would you like me to say it?
Well, yeah, go for it.
Oh, the E-Racists.
The E-Racists.
Yeah, we erase it. Erase.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, we erase it. That's the point.
Great.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Well, there was that book that Fora read, the banned book.
Yeah, on racism.
Right, and Shark just...
Yeah, hated that.
Exactly. And I think we really understand our
I
niche
think
there.
a lot of the audience can probably live through Shark, you
Yeah.
know, and his
He's the
hate
everyman.
for- Yeah,
Yep,
he hates racism. Everybody there watching should hate racism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. I think we can put that one to bed.
Yeah.
For now.
No racism.
At Vistins in the comments. No, this was the Valentine's one. Like I said, Wednesdays will be there. We skipped ahead a little bit. Let's talk about monkey business. So you guys had been building up this Dino Rodeo from teasers with us, as well as like the first game, and we talked a bit about it. But early on, a bunch of apes poured into the Coliseum. How surprised were you? Your reaction, your feelings on kind of just Planet of the Apes taking over?
I think that it very drastically, instantly kind of recontextualized how I viewed it, how like the world and stuff. At first I was like, oh, this is just like a post-apocalyptic like Fallout with dinosaurs kind of thing, and then monkeys start pouring in, and I'm like, okay, so it's another property I have. It's Planet of the Apes.
We're getting sued by multiple people now.
Yeah.
But I thought that was awesome. That was like such a 90-degree turn that I wasn't expecting, but I was like, I'm here for it. What are we doing? Are we gonna kill some monkeys? You guys did.
Yeah,
You
sure.
guys
He
stabbed
deserved
one.
it. He asked for it. But no, I completely agree with that, where it's like, I was already hyped up on Dino Rodeo, and you guys have talked about how this is much more open now than Spaceport was. But up until that point, it's like, all right, there's a tournament, and we're going to be in the tournament, and then we're done, and we need to find a chef. And then it was like, oh, like even just visually in my head, like a map, it's like now there's this forest over here, and the Forbidden Forest too, or jungle, and all of this stuff. So that was really cool. I think that was also the first time we successfully stopped Hugh from killing something. Like, I was like, wait, and he actually just didn't kill Yoo-hoo for a second.
Maybe it was the shoes.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it was we figured out that they weren't killing portal folk.
Yes. And he was like, all right, I'll stay. I was like, don't hit the next one. And he was like, okay. And I was like, oh my God, he said yes to that.
But I agree that the monkeys pouring in immediately added another location, and then we go there, and it starts to feel like an RPG. Like we're done, and it's like, where do we want to go? We have 3 places we could go if we want to, 5 different NPCs we could talk to and get some kind of information or quest even, or something like that. It's very, very open and super interesting.
Because I think in the beginning it was easy to think like, all right, museum, then you go here, museum, you go here, and now it's like, all right, museum, and you're here, but this is a whole place in itself, that kind of thing, which was cool.
I guess along those lines of like going places, meeting people, and picking things up, you guys encountered a few chef candidates. It's leaning, I think, in the way that you're going to take the head chef of Le Bananon, and in that case, it means you'll literally eat bananas for the rest of this campaign, and possibly all of them. How are you guys feeling about being a bananivore?
I won't be eating shit. You guys will be eating bananas.
I think Shark will eat anything.
Yeah.
He's a garbage disposal.
Well, we do know there is a Fallout-esque treasure vault full of hot dogs somewhere that's calling your name.
Which I think I said after the last episode, where there will be a side quest to
the hot dog episode.
Yes. Hot dog episode is coming.
That's the title. Yes.
We should have done that for Valentine's Day. Damn.
Oh, that would have been great.
Just call it hot dog down a hallway.
Yeah. If you need to pull me in for, one shot, I need Caleb there so he can find it for me.
Yeah, he's got to locate hot dog.
Yeah, as long as we locate hot dog, I'm happy.
Okay, I have 2 questions. As is tradition, Drew has been signing these with, give me your wildest predictions about this. I'd like to kind of aim them a little bit. First is the grand prize. What do you actually think it is?
Wow. Oh, God.
Wild predictions. What do you got?
I'm trying to just
We're going to hold you to them.
pull all the information we learned. So
Same here.
Wesley's got some fucking boat, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's going somewhere with it. I think she's starting a separate colony kind of shit or something and she has her own means of making food or something, and that's the prize is that person gets to go to the island
like
of
a ticket, basically.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's kind of how I was leaning. What threw me off a little bit was when she was saying, or you can go take the portal, but I don't know that I believe that she's letting you take the portal. I
was going to ask that. How do you feel it's a genuine offer and that people haven't just been getting stolen away in the middle of the night?
I don't know, because that's where my head went at first of you go there and it actually kills you kind of thing. But then I was also
jump into this portal.
Yes, exactly. So I don't know.
What I've gotten from Wesley and the interaction we had with her was that it didn't seem like she was someone that needed had this desperate grasp for power, because she was mentioning they did this centuries ago to keep people from dying of famine. It seems like it's more she just wants to keep this society going. I could be completely wrong. I'm down to to fight an evil bitch. I'm here for it.
My face,
but
I was looking at his face, trying to see if you were hitting anything. So you didn't get anything from me, I promise.
But I didn't get a vibe of her being I have to be the one in charge here. It's more she feels like a duty to keep humanity going kind of thing.
Against dinosaurs and sentient apes, for the record, which is quite the task.
Yeah, when you've got 2 opposition, you stick together, right?
That's the classic rock paper scissors of T-Rex, ape, and human.
Yep.
Humans stick together, fight ape.
That's so true.
Man together, ape.
Yep.
Yes.
Last question, guys. Wildest predictions for the end of Dino Rodeo. Where are we going?
Oh man. I think it was looking like we were about to try to negotiate peace for a little while. And I think Danny said it best. He kind of said it under his breath while we were playing, where he was like, specifically, why do you and Charlie care? Shark and Hugh. And I literally just looked up and was like, I don't care about this anymore.
I don't want peace.
Yeah,
actually.
I don't give a shit about peace. I lost myself there for a little bit,
Sympathy took over.
It did. Hemp is really getting
cringe.
to me. Oh, so cringe. But no, wildest predictions. Oh God, I don't know. There's too many options
There are a lot of
right now.
variables.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of the background world building talk about the D-Day when the apes gain sentience. I feel like that's going to play some role into it. We're going to find the patient zero ape or something. We're going to find the Caesar of the apes and maybe, I don't know.
Maybe.
The thing with Spaceport is I wasn't expecting it to end in space, like fighting in space, not on a planet.
You mean Spaceport?
Yeah, but like,
Space-
going
space
to the
port- what you say,
going
yeah.
to the moon and like and all that
Yeah.
stuff. I
How
expected
could you
it
not
to
expect
stay.
that? A
Yeah.
railgun into space.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But
Yeah.
that's what I mean. We could just end up somewhere completely
Anywhere.
different by the end of it.
And
which
that's the whole
is-
thing, because first level is like, what the fuck are we going to do? Are we going to be like, actually, we like Bonbon now because Yoo-Hoo, it's cool, or Madam Wesley may convince us, or neither, who knows? Like, I never know what we're going to do at this point, and then I don't know what you guys are going to do. So there's too many levels.
You reminded me of one more question. Sorry, your
You're
thought.
too good of storytellers.
Yeah,
God.
and I hate it.
Hey, I'm the first one to say that you guys put in just as much as we do. And the story gets guided. We set up the pins, right? But you knock them down in the direction you do.
I'm picturing, this is like, you guys write these like beautiful, like old timey stories, and then we come in, we're like, this is my doodle.
Yeah, we write around it. It's great.
And you guys are like,
We're
good
drawing-
job.
We're drawing little penises at the bottom
Yeah,
of it.
exactly. This is what I made. It's just a penis.
Hey, we're gonna put you pushed the eggs out of the nest on the fridge this week. Great
Yeah,
job.
great job.
Oh, and I lied already. Now I've become a liar, but I have to ask: how do you guys feel about Valar's evil act? I was very, in the moment, I thought that was so interesting that you guys were basically about to get killed, and he was like, "All right, now we can hold something for hostage and get out of here."
Yeah.
And people were like, "Wow!" And then basically he was like, "Stop the presses. That guy's doing it bad." And then he just clapped.
Yes.
Like basically.
He loved it. I think for Valar, I think it kind of made sense in a way where he's like, this guy did try to kill us, so we're doing something, like, it's a means to get out of this kind of thing. So there's some gray area. What I think actually happened is we broke Danny.
Yeah.
This was-
I think Danny came through.
yes, Danny was finally like, playing a good paladin in this is fucking impossible because I would hate them all. And he broke. So
Would you agree?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that in that moment, Danny plays WoW. I feel like
Yep.
Danny's a min-maxer when it comes to stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So he's like, what? He's looking around. What can I? What advantage do I have?
He's checking the character sheet for items.
He sees the
It's like
eggs.
40 torches is
Yeah.
not doing anything. This bucket of chalk isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
Eggs.
He sees the eggs. There we go.
I completely agree with that.
That's my meal ticket.
Fair enough. I can't wait to ask him how he feels about you guys in that moment
No.
when he gets to be on the couch.
Because there were so many times where he's just been like, what do, like, I don't like, my character, Valar, should not like this. And I think he's finally just like, I'm playing the fucking game.
I think there's plenty of room. He is a battle paladin from
Yes.
a war world, so he's definitely
Yeah, there's some wiggle room there.
yeah, there's some wiggle room, some gray area. Guys, any parting remarks for the audience?
I have watched the shorts about Super 7 and I saw the comments and they were very sweet. So thank you. I appreciate it.
I didn't see anything about Shark. So.
I did.
You did?
Yep.
Were they nice?
Yep.
Thanks.
Thanks. Later, guys.